World of Tanks will change greatly in 2014. We've already told you about the new physics and graphics that will improve the beauty and atmosphere of the game. Now, let's talk about features that will bring more diversity into battles. New game modes. It has been long known that the current global map is not enough. Most provinces are controlled by a number of top clans. For most clans, it's almost impossible to win a landing tournament. And there is not much to do on the global map but to fight over the provinces. Something needed to be done.
We developed a brand new feature and called it Fortification. We've decided that fortifications will be given to all clans in the game. There will be a certain minimum number of clan members for a clan to get its fortification. A clan with only one player doesn't need a fortification, because this player won't be able to defend it.
In their fortifications, clans will be able to construct buildings. Different buildings will give different economic bonuses. To construct them, clans will need resources. This is a new type of currency, and clans will have to fight with each other to obtain it. After each type of building has been constructed, the so-called reserves will appear in the fortification. Reserves will be like small events for the clan that owns that fortification. For example, combat pay will give a 10% bonus for credits in every battle, including random battles, for 3 or 4 hours.
Bonuses could be different. They could be credit bonuses, or bonuses to experience, or free experience. Which bonuses are available will depend on how clans develop their fortifications.
In this game mode, there will be an enticing but fateful opportunity. Clans will be able to not only build fortifications, but also to ransack them. To protect new clans from more experienced and strong ones, the mode of attack and defense will be available only when a fortification reaches its 5th level of development. This new game mode will be independent from the current global map. Fortifications will have nothing to do with it.
Clan players can fight for their fortifications and take part in battles on the global map. These are 2 independent opportunities. Players can fight in both game modes, or they can choose one. They can choose neither at all. It depends on their preferences.
Fortifications will provide a number of opportunities that are not available and won't ever be available in other game modes.
This is not only about managing the fortification. This is also an opportunity to use brand new features on the battlefield. Players will be able to call in bombers, conduct reconnaissance, lay mines, or install pillboxes that will perform the role of additional artillery forces. These features will diversify the battles and make them more remarkable and unique. Now, players will not only focus on their vehicles, but also pay attention to what's happening around them.
Basically, fortifications will create a parallel universe in World of Tanks, a game within the game. Work on improving this game mode will continue. Historical Battle Mode, discussed almost since the day the game was first released, will finally appear in the 9.0 update. The main problem of historical battles was to develop a good system of vehicle matchmaking. In real battles, tanks that fought against each other differed greatly in their capabilities. For example, the KV-1 and the T-34 with 76mm guns fought against Tigers for quite a long time. The powerful German heavy tanks were overcome with artillery, air forces, infantry, and landmines. There are no such things in the game, so developers had to look for other ways of balancing teams.
One of the solutions is unequal team members. This means that one team may have 15 vehicles, while the other may have only 3.
This scheme was applied in the first version of Historical Battles, which was tested on the common test servers. It turned out that this scheme was not sufficient to balance the chances of the teams, so we had to make additional changes. In Historical Battle Mode, vehicles' specifications such as maneuverability, speed, and view range will be different from what they have in other game modes. Probably most importantly, the number of hit points will change. Heavy vehicles will be easier to destroy. Earlier in the process, we tested a prototype of Historical Battle Mode that did away with vehicle hit points.
To destroy a vehicle, you had to knock out all of its modules or put all of its crew members out of action.
This approach made the game worse. We understood that players would become frustrated. They didn't understand why they kept firing at enemy tanks for a long time, but the enemy tank just wouldn't get destroyed. And other times, the very same vehicle might be destroyed with a single shot. Sometimes we watched 2 tanks just standing and firing at each other for more than 2 minutes with no consequences.
In the first minutes of the battle, vehicles usually had about half of their modules knocked out. After several battles, everyone realized that the best tactic was to hide and wait almost until the end of the battle and then finish off the damaged vehicles.
There's a third-party mod that displays zones of penetration on the vehicle model. If we make this game mode too realistic, everyone might feel forced to play with this mod.
However, the next variant of team matchmaking in historical battles is about to be released. In that upcoming system, each team will have several main heavy vehicles and a larger number of lighter support vehicles.
For example, one team with a few Tigers and a larger number of PZ-3s will fight a team with several KV-1s and larger numbers of T-46s and BT-7s. We need to make these battles both playable and interesting to play. To do this, we have developed and used a prototype that allows these lighter support tanks to respawn into the battle sometime after they've been destroyed.
Now, these tanks will have the freedom to make mistakes. Tests showed that these lighter tanks will try to spot and attack enemy forces more aggressively. So, this respawn system sets the stage for aggressive tank clashes. Historical battles will be introduced as events that will recreate the real episodes in history, such as the Battle of Kursk or the Battle of Bulge. Players will be able to join historical battle only in vehicles that took part in that battle in real life. Vehicles will automatically be brought to their historical setups, even if you have not researched the required modules yet. Players will not have their choice of ammunition. The number of shells of different types will be predetermined. Teams will be assembled based on nationality. For example, German and Soviet vehicles will be on opposite teams for the Battle of Kursk. Everything will correspond with the real events of 1943, T-34s against Tigers and Panthers. The degree of realism in historical battles is quite moderate. Consumables and crew skills and perks, even Sixth Sense, will be active.
Playing this game mode, we don't want players to feel like they're struggling with their own vehicles. They should fight and have fun while getting the flavor of a historical battle. We want to communicate the atmosphere of the battle by different means, and we don't want to deprive the players of the key elements they enjoy and are used to.
Perhaps all vehicles that participate in historical battles will have a feature typical of premium vehicles. Players will be able to transfer their crews from vehicles of the same type without penalty or retraining. Historical battle mode is on its way. Another game mode that is planned for release closer to the end of the year is Garage Battle Mode. In this game mode, players will be able to roll out several vehicles one by one as they get destroyed. Two variants are being considered. The first variant includes Tier 10 vehicles only. The second one allows vehicles of different tiers to participate. To play this game mode, players will need several vehicles of the same type. They will be able to replenish ammunition and consumables during the battle. However, it's too early to tell exactly what garage battles will look like. Details are still being worked through and haven't been specified yet. Along with the introduction of these three game modes, Team Battle Mode will also be improved in 2014. New features are being developed to support long-term teams. New online tournaments and special awards will be introduced. The team battle rules will be updated, and many other small but helpful features will be introduced. That's all for now. In the next episode of Developer Diaries, we will tell you how maps will change in 2014. Good luck on the battlefield, tankers!